Hello world, this is Dennis and welcome to video number 300. Yes, you heard that right, video number 300. And as voted by my viewers and followers on Twitter, we will be going over my top 5 Godzilla figures. I got this nice Godzilla backdrop here with the Hammerland HQ 100A in the backdrop for more sexiness. Hey! So anyhow, let's get this started with figure number 5. This bad boy right here. Now, some of you may be saying, oh, wait, that's a Trendmasters figure. Why are you using a Trendmasters figure? They're not as good as Bandai or X Plus or SH Monster Arts. Well, the reason why this figure is on the list at number 5 is because this is my first Godzilla figure. Like most kids growing up in the 90s, all we had for Godzilla figures, or at least in this area, was the Trendmaster line that came out in 95, 96, something like that, if I remember correctly. And at the time, these things were amazing. In my opinion, they're not that bad. The sculpt on these are, pretty good. It's the classic, hey, say Godzilla look with the 3 rows of spines on back here. Oh, let me turn a little bit. His tail's in the way. There you go. Now, this one, obviously, it's quite dusty and dirty. I haven't quite figured out how to properly clean figures. I'm in the process of cleaning radios, but I haven't figured out how to clean Godzilla figures. But this is like I said, a really nice figure, and I lost my train of thought, which I hate when that happens. But this is the figure I picked for number 5, the Trendmasters Godzilla figure, which stands at maybe about 4 or 5 inches tall. It's not the biggest figure in my collection. It's not the fanciest figure in my collection, but it's got nostalgia value, and that's why it's on the list at number 5. Okay, for number 4, I know this is kind of cheating, but it's a figure, so it still counts. Well, I guess a diorama, but I'm still including this on my list because it's my list, so anyhow, number 4 is my 1964 Godzilla, or Mothra vs. Godzilla diorama from, obviously, the movie Mothra vs. Godzilla. And if I can adjust the tripod here real quick. Sorry, this is going to be a little jerky because this thing sucks. Okay, turn this just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now you can see the full base. This is one of those diorama figures, whatever you want to call it, that I got directly from Japan from an eBayer or a seller on eBay from Japan. And for a small, diorama figure, whatever you want to call it, the detail on this thing is amazing. Usually, if you go small, well, you do lose some quality, but this one, the over quality is really nice. The only area where I can really tell where you really lose to quality is here in his spines, but that's not a big deal because the way I have this displayed, you're looking at Godzilla, from this angle, and he looks exactly like the 1964 Godzilla, which is one of my all-time favorite Godzilla suits. I love the design of that. Which reminds me, I'll have to do a video of my top 5 Godzilla suits, but that's for another video. But the overall quality on this thing is just absolutely amazing. I love it. The paint job is really nice, and like I said before, for the size of it, the quality is also really nice. One of my favorites, and that's why it's on the list at number 4. Okay, for number 3 on my list here is the only SH Monster Arts figure that I own at the moment. And this came in that special, I think it was known as the poster bundle when Godzilla 2014 came out in Japan, which I pre-ordered off of Amazon.jp, the Japanese Amazon.com website, because I just had to have it. Because, before then I haven't owned any SH Monster Art figures, and I loved this cool, reddish orange design on the figure. And, you know, the 2014 Godzilla design is really cool. So it's like, okay, gotta order it, must have it. Sadly, with the limitation of room on my desk here, I can't really do a full head-on view here. Well, maybe I can turn his head just a little. There we go. That gives you a general idea what he looks like head-on. But, like I was saying, this is the, Godzilla 20... I think it was, like, known as the poster edition or something like that version of Godzilla 2014. And it's your typical, you know, SH Monster Arts, fully posable. You can see all the different sections here where you can pose the monster. The only thing I don't really care about is right here in the front when you lift up his head. There's like this big gap in here. Well, let me move my fingers so you can actually see it. But that's my one complaint with the figure. But overall, I really like it. It's it has to be one of the most unique figures in my collection. Although what will be coming up at number 2, in my opinion, is even more unique than this one. Okay, coming in at number 2 for my top 5 Godzilla figures is another unique figure to my collection. Is my YMSF and again Godzilla 1965 figure, which you just saw recently in my review for this bad boy. Obviously, besides the all reddish orange Godzilla, this is the only other figure that I have that's interestingly colored, let's put it that way. Like I mentioned in the video, usually I don't go for these brightly colored, multicolored Godzillas, but for some reason, I really like this one. I just love the look of him. The oranges, the yellows, the greens. Almost a Green Bay Packer Godzilla. It is something else. And as always, I love how he looks like the 1965 Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Monster Zero. It just, you know, blows me away, you know, how well these figures are made compared to, let's say, like the Trendmaster figures. But then again, the Trendmaster figures had their own, you know, their own special design and, you know, their own place in history. But overall, I love this figure. It is something else. It goes right up there, like I said, with the SH Monster Arts Godzilla figure. When it comes to coloring, it is quite unique. And I just love the way this thing looks. So number 2 is my YMSF again Godzilla 1965 figure. Now, let's get ready for number 1! Okay, for number 1, which is a little hard for me to get in the view on the camera here, especially considering how big this figure is obviously the X Plus Godzilla 2001 GMK figure. I forgot how tall this thing is, how many, you know, centimeters, but obviously he's big, you know, because if you go by the Hammerland HQ100A in the background, you can tell that this is a big boy. And this has to be, overall, my all-time favorite Godzilla figure. Now, if I ever get any other, you know, X Plus Godzilla figures in the future, that may change, but for right now, he is number 1. Knocking over my little sign here. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. I just love the design of this Godzilla. I just love how vicious he is. Let's turn him to the side here. I love these unique dorsal plates here on his back. And, you know, as always with X Plus, the way they capture the suit is just, you know, spot on. It's amazing. I just love it. I can't wait to get my X Plus Gaiyan and Titanosaurus figures later this year. That's going to be something else. But until then, I have this bad boy here. And here, let me try moving the camera back just a little bit so we can, you know, get a view of him front on, because I'm going to have to pick him up and show ya. Because with his big honking tail here, there we go. those nasty, soulless, staring eyes and that, look at those teeth and the claws and everything. This is a horrifying monster, and I love it. This is why this was my first X Plus, figure, and not to be my last. I'm hoping to get another Godzilla. Maybe not as big as this one, maybe a shorter one. I do know they make the shorter ones. So maybe I'll pick up something sometime down the road, either on eBay or maybe at G-Fest this year. I have to wait and see. But yes, at number 1 is the X Plus GMK Godzilla. Thank you very much, everyone, for subscribing to my channel, and it's an honor that, so many people are interested in my Godzilla and shortwave radio videos, and in the future, more Christian rock and metal videos. Right now, last I checked, I think I was up to, it was like 260 subscribers, so I want to say thank you to everyone. I hope you enjoyed the 300 videos I've made so far. And the next milestone will obviously be video number 500, so stay tuned for the insanity that is Sparkyzilla 85 Presents. And as always, peace and all that good stuff.